Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. Shedeur Sanders stood in front of reporters today, took questions about his next start. One reporter bluntly asked Sanders if Stefanski is trying to sabotage him in his first season. Ocho Joe, let's take a listen to what the young man had to say.
Hey, Shedeur, not from you, but all your supporters out there say that Kevin Stefanski was sabotaging you.
So you just want to start trouble, huh?
No, I want to ask you what your relationship with him is.
Yeah, well, what people do outside the building isn't really in my control. It's not in my power, so I don't. Yeah, like I go out there and tell them to do whatever. You know, that's not nothing I can control or nothing I could do. But overall, you know, I'm just happy to be here. Coach Stefanski, you've been coaching since I got here, and you've been doing a very great job, you know, with everything that's going on.
But what is your relationship like with him and when we don't see you guys together?
Definitely like a coach. You know, he tells me what I need to do on and off the field. We've definitely grown. Our relationship and everything has grown, so I'm just thankful to be here.
Hey, what the hell is a reporter fishing for? I
mean, you know what he's fishing for.
Hey, listen, hold on. Hey, Joe, I don't like that, Joe. Listen, the focus should be on him having his second start, going to play the San Francisco 49ers. What's the game plan, or what's your thought going in to play them? Worried about this is business. This ain't about friendship. His job is the coach. Shedeur's job is to play. Simple as that. That's asking a stupid question. It had nothing to do with the game of football.
I think.
Hey,
go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
Okay, Ocho. I don't really think it was a stupid question. He asked a question that a lot of people out here want to know. A lot of people want to know, does Stefanski really mess with him like that? You know what I mean? Like, what's y'all relationship for real? Hey, reporters have a tough job, bro. They got to ask the tough questions. You know what I mean? So I don't mind the question, honestly. I'm just glad. It just depends on who you're asking and are they mature enough to be able to talk around that question.
But listen, Joe and Unc, if you listen to the answer, he talked around it. He didn't answer directly. Listen, he's my coach, and he's been coaching me the way he should since I've been here. Right. I mean, you already know how that coach feels about you based on the way he talks publicly and some of the things that he says. Because when they ask him a question about him, he doesn't answer it directly either. He dances around the question and talks about the team collectively. That's what he does. I mean, we know how he feels about him. The reporter knows how most of the people in that organization feel about him, including the owner. So there's no need to ask that just to fit for something so you have something to write a goddamn headline about.
Yeah. They need a viral moment.
You know, look, guys, you know, I kind of do a little bit more interviewing with Club Shay Shay, and with my previous job when I was at CBS, I used to go out on the road a lot to interview players. And I've always asked, you know, for me, I never wanted to become a part of the story. So, but I was like, man, if somebody, I wonder what fans would really want to know if they had an opportunity to ask Tony Romo a question. If they got an opportunity to ask J.J. Watt a question, if they got an opportunity, what would they ask? So I always tried to ask a question or questions that fans would want to know. But I also understood that, you know, I got to keep this about football. The first thing I'm like, okay, Shedeur, you got your first start out the way. You played, you know, you got the win. Everybody seemed to be excited. What is your expectations going into your second start? You get a second week to practice. You get a second week to start with, to go with the ones. The offensive line will have a better indication of your cadence. I would ask him questions like that. But I think because so many people have said that Kevin Stefanski has deliberately and purposefully tried to sabotage this young man's development and his growth, it's hard for me to see that. I don't know the pool of reporters, how many they got, Ocho. I mean, we would have, 15, 20, 30 guys there asking questions. It's hard for me to believe. He probably was the first one to get an opportunity to ask a question. But it's hard for me to believe that of those 25, 30 pool reporters that were there, not one person was going to ask about the relationship. Now, you look, he's mature enough because, hell, his dad, he's basically been in the spotlight because of his dad. He understands that everything that he says is going to be scraped over with a fine-tooth comb for the simple fact of his last name, Ocho and Joe. So he understands that he's very mature, and he's been a quarterback, Ocho. You know it, Joe, and you know what quarterbacks do.
Yeah.
Think about how many times they asked Tom, or they asked Coach Belichick, and they kept it professional, knowing Tom ain't really deal with him like that, and he ain't really deal with Tom like that. Now, it came out later, but we already knew. We can see how they moved. We can see how you move that give us a clear indication of what it's like. But what did they expect him to say? Nah, he ain't even offered me to come over for dinner. He had Dylan over to his house for dinner one night with him and his wife. He ain't do that for me yet, but I hopefully come. I mean, what did they expect him to say? I got a relationship. I'm a player, a first-year player, a rookie. He's a coach. And that's the extent of our relationship. I didn't expect it to be anything else. It's not his father. What's it like? And he says, both he and Shiloh, when we're at practice, he's coach. When we're home, he's dad.
Right.
Well, it's full time with Stefanski. He's always going to be coach. So I don't really expect what they expected him to say.
Yeah. Hey, I guess.
But with all that being said, what is your expectations, Ocho? Because as I said before, Joe, he's got another week of practice under his belt. And you like to think that he can build on the momentum that he's generated, but also correct some of the mistakes. So he stays more into the favorable and less into the negative. So what is your expectations, Ocho and Joe, about what you're going to see this week going up against the 49ers are a better team than the Raiders?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm hoping to see a little bit more comfortability, a little bit more better command of the offense. From a statistical standpoint, I would love to see better numbers and better decision-making with the ball. Understanding, obviously, the game plan, your offensive line, having a better understanding of your cadence, and just having control of the offense in its entirety. Being able to move the ball down the field and just don't turn the ball over and give your team a chance. That's all I can ask for. Consistency, quarter by quarter or drive by drive. That's all you can ask for.
Man, Unc Ocho, I want to see him to continue being a leader. It seems like it's so infectious to his teammates. If you ask me, I think they got a great chance of winning the game because I think those guys play a little harder when he's out there. That's just my perspective on it. And the way he leads, man, it just oozes confidence, I think, in everybody else. And they understand what they're up against. And they understand the scrutiny that this young man is under, man. I got these guys coming out. I think they're going to ball out, bro. I think he's going to be a lot more comfortable. And I think he's going to play a much better game. I
agree. I think the thing is that when you're with a young player, that coaches always say, son, I just want to see you. I just want to see the improvement. Down in and down out. Game in and game out. Practice in and practice out. That's the indication that you're starting to get it. Because I think the thing is that with Tennessee, Ocho, why they chose to go in a different direction with from Will Levis is why, Ocho. He kept making the same mistake over and over. Yes. Ocho, we come out here every week. Damn, son, he just chewed your ass out last week for making that dumb play, and you come back and do the same dumb play again. Yeah. So one or two things, as Coach used to say, either one or two things, son. You not processing what I'm saying, or you just or my teaching is just effed up. Yeah. Or you just don't give a F. Because something is not computing. I'm telling you, against this coverage, if you throw it late, it's going to be trouble. And every time you do it, you throw it late against that coverage, and the same thing happened. And it happened week after week after week. So there's something being lost in translation, either the way I'm explaining it to you or the way you're receiving it. But we got to get on the same page. And I think the thing is with Shedeur, I believe he's smart enough and he understands that, look, he doesn't need to add any more pressure to himself. He understands. Right. He said it. Yeah, there are a lot of people, and there are. But there are a lot of people, and do I think there are a lot of people that want to see a lot of people fail? Yes. But I think more. I mean, obviously, if it's you going against my team, Ocho, hell yeah, I want to see Ocho fail. Hell, I want to see him catch catching for 200 yards against me. Fail. Yeah. But there are people that don't even have a vested interest in it. They're not Browns fans, and the team that they root for aren't playing the Browns, and they're just rooting against it. That's what I don't understand. Yeah. If I'm playing your team and you root against me, that means, you know what? You think I could do something bad to your team. I expect that. But just to be like, I don't want to see him do good. He's entitled. How?
You know, everybody gonna have their opinion. You know how that go, Joe. Everybody gonna have their opinion depending on who you are, whether it be the last name, whether it be his dad. Just everyone going to have a reason not to like you. There are certain things that you can't control as a player. There's certain things that you don't need to worry about. The thing that you can control that. What Shedeur can control is the outcome of that goddamn game and offensive.
How well he plays.
And how well he plays. For him, I just want him to play. I want him to play free. I want you to play like you back at Jackson State. I want you to play like you at goddamn Colorado with the understanding and command of the offense and playing with that confidence, playing with extreme confidence, and everything else will take care of itself. As long as his offense, his supporting cast offensively, they got to play good. Judy, no more mistakes. Protecting the ball. Any deep balls, cover that thing up. If you got if you done ran out of real estate, either go down and get your ass out of bounds. Njoku, running back Junkins. I mean, all y'all have to play your part in order for him to have success. And I really think they have a good chance to win the game.
I do too.
Not because of the offense and not because of Shedeur, because of that goddamn defense. That damn defense.
Yeah. Ooh.
They are, man, them boys good, man.
But Joe, I think a lot of time, if you look at us, and we're not monolithic, but a lot of us that succeed in the level we succeed, we came from impoverished conditions. Everybody didn't have a Steph Curry situation. Everybody does not have a Peyton Manning situation. So I'm even more, because we understood, look, I mean, Peyton Manning got a mom and a dad, and dad played in the NFL, and they doing good. Steph Curry, his dad played in the NBA. But more times than not, they come up like a LeBron James. A lot of times, sometimes, more times than not, they probably grandmother raised them. They come from broken homes. Here's a man that he said, I grew up in a 30,000 square foot home. I had every reason to kick my damn heels up and not have to worry about anything because I had a dad that was one of the greatest players to ever play in the NFL. But that's not what I wanted. I love that I have his last name, but I want to accomplish something for the Sanders that's outside of my dad. So I have to tip my hat. But for him to be in that situation, I didn't have a choice. And sometimes I think like if I'd have had everything just handed to me, would I have still had that same burning desire and drive to accomplish what I accomplished? Boy, look here. When you hungry at night, you getting rained on at night, boy, that's a hell of a motivating force.
Yeah, different.
An empty stomach and a weakened back pocket, boy, you talking about some motivation, Ocho?
Yeah.
Now throw a broken heart in there.
Dude. Hey, I get it, man. Hey, look, I respect him too because of that reason, because of how he was raised, obviously, being Deion's son, growing up, with more than, like it take a lot, Unc and Ocho, for guys to grow up like that and still have that fire in them to be the best. Yeah, so when I watch this young man play, I'm not gonna lie, I'm rooting for him every time he get out there on the field, because I'm like, man, at any moment he could have been and be like, man, I'm done with all this. But that man just keep his head down, his confidence is high, and he continue to work to improve. So it's a lot of people who do want to see him fail, Unc and Ocho, but I also see a lot of people who want to see him succeed too.
Oh, you see it? Look at those Dominican baseball players. Look at the conditions they come up in. Man, they done got rubber bands and band them all together, and they hitting with broomsticks. And they playing them with bare feet, Ocho, and they out there in the fields, and they got tires as bases.
Absolutely.
You see?
Yeah.
Everybody ain't got a Ken Griffey Jr. Their dad played, mom and dad together, nice home and everything. Griffey say, yeah, but I want to be something outside of my dad. Yes, I bear his last name, but I want to accomplish things on my own. That's always been really, really impressive to me. I love to see that. I love that desire, because a lot of times, you get these trust fund kids and they're like, well, I'm good. So I'm not just saying professional athletes, because there are a lot of people that have trust funds and they be great in business, or their dad is a doctor and they want to become a doctor, or they're a lawyer, their dad's a doctor or family's a lawyer, and they continue that practice. So, but I just think it's really cool, because we understand when you're in an impoverished condition and you want to improve upon that. But when your parents got really, really good money, and you're like, well, you know what? I want my own.
Yeah.
And Ocho, I had somebody I had an older brother that went to D1, went to the NFL. I'm looking around Joe, I'm thinking like, hell, He lived in the same house I did. He got rained on too. He ate possum and raccoon and all that bullshit. If he could go to the NFL, I can too.
Yeah, absolutely.
How is he so special? How is he so much better than I am? And we ate the same food. We sat at the same table. We did exactly the same thing. So I had someone to pattern, to look up to and look like, okay, I'm just going to follow you, see what you do. Now, it's not like it is now, guys. You know, like now you might bump into some. We wasn't bumping into no professional athlete, no damn grocery store, Ocho. We ain't gonna bump into no at the gas station, or we out somewhere. We wasn't gonna see no professional athlete, Joe. Now you got somebody like, well, damn, you could reach out and physically touch them. There were football camps and basketball camps that they have now. There was none of that when we was coming up, Ocho and Joe.
The only thing I had to look up to, Unc, especially the kids today, I mean, they have the resources. They have the outlets. I mean, obviously, being able to see the players, going to the players' camps, that's one thing. But back when I was growing up, I mean, Unc, we ain't really no different. We about the same goddamn age. Only thing I had, Joe, you know, to use motivation was posters. I had posters of Dan Marino. I had posters of of Mark Clayton and Mark Dubin on my wall. You know,
the Marx brothers.
My room was decorated with all the NFL flags with all the teams and the logos. And you know, watching TV of NFL teams in the '80s, knowing that's something that I didn't actually know at a young age is something that I wanted to do. But my grandma having me in football, having me at Liberty City Optimist, driving me to practice. When I played for Miami Lakes Optimist, goddamn 30, 40 minutes away every single day, getting up and the sacrifices that she made. And at some point, even though I was young, it became routine. And as it became routine, I started to understand the game and understand who was good at the game. And then, okay, now I understand, okay, Mark Duper, Mark Clayton. Okay, wait a minute. But they got somebody named Jerry Rice. Now watching him, well, goddamn, I think I can do that. And I would love to achieve the greatness that he did. I might not get it, but if I don't get it, I might fall short. But I want to be really good at what he does. I want to make my mark.
Yeah.
And hell, that's where my motivation came from, because I didn't have nobody to look up to outside of those on TV.
Exactly. You know, you see Jerry Rice. Yeah. Jerry Rice was his dad was a bricklayer. Jerry Rice worked with his dad during the summers. But damn, I'm pouring concrete. I'm laying asphalt. Hell, I'm working in fields. I mean, that was like the old black college guys, Ocho, the OGs.
Yeah.
The first NFL players. That's how they did sharecrop. You look at the Willie Laniers and you look at all those old school guys. And I'm like, well, damn, they ain't much different than me. But it seems so far away though, Ocho, because I never saw any of these guys in person.
Right.
So all we could do is just watch them on television. Yeah, I had a Larry Bird poster and a couple of posters hanging up. My grandma said, boy, get that ish off my wall. Because back then we didn't have no paneling, Ocho. So we stick Scotch tape or electric tape or that silver, what they call that silver tape? Duct tape. Duct tape.
Duct tape.
We put that duct tape on them concrete brick, and that thing up there forever. That thing up there forever. And so that's what I was like, damn. Man, that'd be really cool. And you know, Ocho, you tell somebody you gonna go play in the NFL, you from a small man, you ain't going nowhere. Your ass gonna be working at the fruitcake club here. You gonna be working at Rotary Motor, or you gonna be doing what you doing right now, cutting grass, landscaping, and doing all that other stuff. I'm gonna show y'all. So for Shedeur to grow up how he grew up, and to say, you know what, this is nice, but I want it for myself. Yeah, I think that says a lot about the young man.
Absolutely,
it does. Though.
Man. There are some people around the league that believe Browns owner Jimmy Haslam is ready to clean house, according to The Athletic. Head coach Kevin Stefanski, GM Andrew Berry were both hired in 2020, and the team has only one playoff game in that span. They also haven't been able to figure out the quarterback situation. Well, you had the number 1 overall pick. You had Baker. You hit it out the park with Myles Garrett. You got a transcendent player.
Yes.
And you could hope. I mean, you look, if I get a number 1 overall pick, first of all, Ocho, you know what, and Joe, a number 1 overall pick, I'm supposed to be able to plug him in, and he's supposed to be a multiple-time Pro Bowl player. He's supposed to be a multiple-time All-Pro player. Within his first 3 years, the number 1 overall pick, because the first-round pick is supposed to be a Pro Bowl player. Because that's what you said. I mean, you selected him in the first round. You're telling me, Ocho, he's a blue-chip player, which means Pro Bowl. The higher up you select him, all pro.
Yeah.
All decade. That's what that's supposed to mean.
Yes.
I think you had Baker. Odell, and people like, well, he had Odell wasn't the same player. Odell was coming off that injury, and then what happened the next year he was there, Ocho? He tears his knee.
Yeah.
So he had two debilitating injuries. Jarvis was starting to slow. Jarvis, he never was a burner. He was a possession receiver.
Yeah.
And he started to slow down. And Njoku was young. So y'all telling me y'all telling me like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Emeka, Ibuka, and those guys, and look at the running backs that he got. That what he had in Cleveland?
Different.
Thank you.
Different. Yeah, totally different.
What you thinking, Joe? You think they're gonna clean house?
It's probably about time, man. I mean, we going back 25, 30 years talking about their quarterbacks, man. At some point, you got to clean house, start this thing over, see if we can get off to a much better start. I just think it's got to be something that's inside organization-wise that's got this franchise in this rut. You know what I mean? Like, I think it is probably about time for them to clean house.
You just got to hit that one player.
That's it.
You got to hit that quarterback.
And the most important player you need to hit is the quarterback.
you got to get him, Ocho.
Listen, Unc, that changes everything. Look at the Texans. Look at the Commanders. Hell, look at the Packers. The Packers have been lucky. Hell, they didn't have 3 quarterbacks in 30 years. Everybody can't be as fortunate as them.
No.
Everybody can't.
Right.
No.
They just can't. And once the Cleveland Browns figure it out, regardless of who you fire, who you hire, if you ain't got no quarterback, you're going to be right back in the same goddamn situation regardless.
Yeah.
Are we going to see? We're going to find out if Shedeur is that one that can be that transcending generational talent for you for the next 10 years. And there's only one way to find out. He has to play. He has to get the reps.
I agree. And the thing, look, what Green Bay, that's an anomaly because you might not ever see that again in the quarterback where one team has basically 40 to 50 years of prosperity at one position. That doesn't happen. I don't know if it's ever happened. But if you look at the Patriots had a down, then they get Drew Bledsoe. And then all of a sudden the Mo Lewis happened to Bledsoe, and then they get Tom Brady. And they have Mac Jones, but I thought Coach Belichick did him a disservice by getting people that's never called offensive plays to be in his ear and to call offensive plays. Now what do? They get Drake May. So you talking about a situation where you might have, with the exception of maybe 3 years, you might have another 10, 15-year stretch where in 40 years you've had 3 quarterbacks. That just goes to show you just how special that one player, how transformational that one player is. Nobody can impact the game like him. Now, maybe if you get a starting pitcher, we'll see.